Today I had a really awesome day, so I wanted to do a vlog about it. But I think I'm just going to talk about one small part of the day, which is like huge for me, really huge. Like it feels good. Like the thing that happened was we were at this Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, a swimming pool in Melbourne, big one, um, and I went on a 3 meter diving board and dived into the pool and swam to the side and didn't die. And I did it 3 times. So for me, that's huge. It was like um, maybe 6 months ago, the thought of doing that would have been like impossible to me. I would have thought, do that and you're just gonna die. Like I didn't know how to tread water. I wasn't a didn't know how to breathe with freestyle. This is before, and yeah, just the thought of that was like it was like an impossible thing because I've been a non-swimmer most of the time, most of my life, and just recently especially in the last maybe 2 months or so, I've been going to the pool more and each time getting a little bit better. Even just last week or 2 weeks ago, that's when I first started practicing treading water, and it was such a good move because you feel so much more confident when you can do it. And yeah, you can feel so more confident when you can hover in the water just a little bit, just enough to hang around a bit and switch to a different stroke or turn around and things like that. It's incredible. But yeah, it was today. It was so cool. I did that, and I'm gonna explain the whole thing about that whole part. And it could be a long video. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened today. It's just a really awesome day. But I'm gonna just talk about that small part of it. Basically, I spent the day with Donovan, Kim, Vu, Ewan, Chai, and Adrian. And in the morning, today was a really hot day, and it's a Monday, but because of New Year's Day, all of us had the day off. So it was today, yeah, like 40 degrees today. So it wasn't just a normal day. It was like a really hot day, and we decided we were gonna do a jog around the town in the morning, then go for a swim, then play snooker, and that was the plan for the day. And it turned out to be just one of those awesomest days, like with a whole group of friends I just love hanging out with, and it was so much fun. And did a lot of exercisey activities, which I love. Like if you have fun and you do exercise at the same time, it's like a win-win. It's like awesome, really, really awesome. And plus, add into the fact that all the stuff we did in the pool, like I achieved a lot of things that I have not been able to do before, and like each time pushing myself just a little bit more, like just small things, and I'm gonna go through it now. So skip all the part about everything else, and basically when we got to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, which is a really big swimming pool complex in Melbourne. I've been there before to play basketball, but I've never even gone near the swimming part because I haven't been able to swim. I was my whole life I was just been like a non-swimmer. So swimming pool is just like something I just didn't even consider. Like can't do it, unless it's shallow. Technically, I used to just be able to get into the water up to here or whatever. If I could stand onto the bottom of the pool, I was like, oh, I can do that, whatever. But lately, I've like the last few weeks, maybe 2 months or so, I've been consciously trying to. I have to be able to swim, a little bit. Like I have to, because a friend of mine asked me to join him in Tough Mudders. This kind of like a race with obstacle course, and one of the obstacles that we have to do is jump from a 5 meter diving platform into the water and then swim a little bit. I'm not sure how far it is. Swim a little bit as well, but so I mean, I didn't know it was skippable, but apparently, if you can't swim, you can skip that little part of it. But I really wanted to do it, and yeah. When I started to learn trying to swim better, I didn't know you could skip it. I thought I had to be able to swim, but yeah, it's been so good. It's so like it's funny. Just one little thing like that can just change everything. Like one day we're sitting around and Andrew, he's this guy, asked me to do Tough Mudders. He's like, "Oh, do you want to do it?" And I'm like, yeah, might as well. Somehow I came along. I ended up doing it, and then that's that. And so then I have to learn how to swim. So and because of that, now I can swim. Like I'm, I 100% can say I'm a swimmer now because I can do all. In my head, I've ticked all the boxes that I just could not possibly think of doing, I mean, like, I'm not a strong swimmer, like, I'm not great, but I can do it, It's, so, so good. Um, yeah, so because of, like, going 3 or 4 times a week, just each time learning to tread water, learning to breathe in freestyle, I'm getting a bit better. And now it's so cool, I can just do all these different things in the water now, like, just like breaststroke. I mean, it's one of those things where just kind of did it naturally, working at myself, and it's just enjoyable. The water is so much fun. Like, when you can get in the water and you can just do either, if you want to flip on your back, you can flip on your back, turn around, dog paddle, switch to freestyle. You can do freestyle normal or freestyle with your head out of the water. Oh, it's just my favorite. One of my favorites is doing the dolphin thing where you go under the water and you wiggle your body to propel yourself. I love doing that because you see the Olympic swimmers and stuff when they dive into the pool at the start. I think they do a little bit of that before they come up to the surface. It just looks cool and it's fun to do. Whenever I do it, I seem to go straight for the ground for some reason. I don't know. I wish I could go horizontal, but it doesn't matter. Plenty, things that can work on later. But yeah, when we got to the pool, for some reason everything today worked out so well that it kind of kind of got me to this stage, because it's funny, like yeah, it like kind of like sped up my whole process, because I had a plan that I was gonna slowly get more confident in the water, like even last week what I was doing is learning to tread water. I would go to the deep end of the pool, hold onto the ledge, and then kind of like let go and see if I could do it for like 5 seconds, grab on top, then 10 seconds, and then eventually I got to like 20 seconds or something, and then I thought, okay, let's just go out to the side and just learn to stay out away from the edge and then start freestyling. Oh, this is probably a really confusing video, but it's not. Yeah. So basically today the first pool we went to was like we wanted to do we went to outdoors pool because it was so hot. So we went to the outdoor pool. It was a massive pool. It was really cool. If you gone to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, the outdoor pool. It's cool. It's got all the stadium, like the stands, like heaps of seats, and at the top there's a canvas. Well, I'm not sure it's canvas, but it's like got a roof. But it looks cool. Like, and it's awesome when you're doing backstroke and you look up at the ceiling. It's so relaxing, especially on a nice sunny day. Yeah, so we just kind of assumed that there'd be like a deep end when it goes shallow. But what happened was Vu got in the water on one end and jumped in, and he's like, "No, this is deep." Like, Then we went to the middle, and I jumped in, tried it. Yeah, it was deep as well. And then we asked the lifeguard who was working there, and he said it's 2.1 meters all the way through, so it's like a deep pool all the way through. So that was that. And my friends were like, I was all for like going inside for a normal pool, which had like a graded, deep, shallow. But some of my friends were just had kind of gone into the water, and some were just sitting on the edge. And see, that's one of those things where it was really good to have those other people, other events, kind of slightly pushing me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like had there been the whole grading of the pool, like I would have it would have taken me so long to get to the stage I was, later on in the session. So basically, the first thing I did was they were in the pool, and I saw Vu and Adrian just like a couple meters into the pool, just treading water, and so that was cool. Like, it was like inspiring in a way, like just seeing them like do it so naturally and stuff. And then so I got in the pool, holding onto the ledge, and luckily, the really cool thing was they have the ledge, and then like there's like an instep in the wall where it's halfway, probably maybe halfway up from the ground, so you can put your feet there, so you can kind of stand there holding onto the edge, which is really cool. It's better, it's more comfortable than if there was nothing. So I was hanging on to that for a while, and I don't know what I was doing. I think at the start, I was just getting used to letting go of the edge and kind of dog paddling a little bit. And another thing I did was I grabbed onto the edge and kind of went down until I could touch the bottom, and then I came back up. And it's just nice to know that it's touchable. It's nice to know that there's something there, even though it's pretty far down. And it just, for me, today was the thing that got me what I did was just taking little steps and pushing myself just a little all the time. Doing something I hadn't been able to do before. Like, you know, um, I think one of the biggest moments for me was I had it in my mind. It just came into my head, like, because they've got those things that divide the lanes in the pools. Those round things and go all the way down. The area that we were in, I think it was like a double lane, like, as in like a width of a double lane. So it was a fair width, like not like a single lane width. So I'm holding onto the ledge, and I could see there's the lane thing on the other side, and I just got into my head that I want to touch that lane rope thing. So I think I freestyled it, or I'm pretty sure I would have freestyled it. So got there, grabbed onto it, and luckily it could support my weight. So I was holding onto it. The very first time I got there, I just got there, hold onto it, catch my breath, and just felt like, hey, I'm out here and I'm not dead. Like, it's just awesome. Like, the feeling of doing that and just like venturing away from the ledge and in the deep water, it gave me so much confidence boost, and then from there I would turn around and just swim back, and I got to the ledge comfortably again, and it wasn't too hard, which was really comforting. So I think for about 3 or 4 times I just did that, take a long rest, go out there, grab on, and then after a while a few of us were doing it. Like, I think a lot of us were holding onto the edge, and then as expected, the lifeguard walked past and said, stay off the lane ropes or something like that. So that was the end of grabbing onto the lane rope for safety. But then what the cool thing was, that pushed me again. Like, I don't have the ability to hold onto the lane rope anymore. So the next time I think I swam out there, just touched it, because it just gives me confidence to have something there that I can hold on to. And yeah, it was so then swim back, and then I just kept doing that, like, and it was so cool. At some stage I swam out there, didn't touch the lane rope, just kind of treaded water just for a couple of seconds, and then started my freestyle back. So in the end, my favorite routine was hold onto the ledge, kick it up, do like backstroke, either backstroke or just kicking on my back and flipping my arms and coming backwards, and staring up at that ceiling of the outdoor pool at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. It was just looked so nice. And when I was doing it, I was thinking, this is awesome. It's quite easy to do at the moment because it's not strenuous. I'm moving out away from the ledge, and it was like a payoff of all the swimming this practice I've been doing, that I can do this now. And it's just like, I enjoyed that so much, and it felt really cool to just like that. And yeah, I loved it. And then I got to the edge, turn around, and I went freestyle back, and it was so cool. And the thing is, it wasn't it was almost like I didn't have to think about what to do. My body just kind of did it. It wasn't really hard, and I wasn't panicking. It was just nice. It was just like, it felt like the top of the water, it was kind of easy to hang around there. Like, it's strange, like, it's a completely different, the water became like not a scary thing. It became more, like, less intimidating. And it deep water to me used to be like death. Like, all I could think of was splutting around and drowning, I'm struggling and sinking. But now when I see it, I'm still not like super confident, and I know I'll get tired pretty quick. But I can do a little bit in small bursts, and it was just really, really cool. So that was that. And the final, I did other things too, but the next really big step for me was I saw these other kids, or yeah, kids like from this 2.1 meter deep pool. They from the edge they jumped in. So the other pools that I've been swimming at, they haven't been deep enough to allow people to dive in. So they've been, yeah. So this is the first time I've been to a pool that was deep enough for diving. I don't know. I just said in my head, I'm gonna jump in, and for me that's a big step, like diving into the deep end, literally. So I just everyone was doing other things. I just got out of the pool, turned around, looked at it, jumped in, like that, and cool, came up, and then swam to the edge. And it wasn't hard to swim to the edge, and it wasn't hard to come back up, and it wasn't that hard at all. It was just, the only scary moment is when you're up in the air and you're falling down, just for that split second. But it was, and then from after I did that, we moved. I think everyone wanted to go into the a shallow pool, just so there was one or two of them that weren't as confident swimming, so to give them something more to do maybe. So that was perfect. Like I got my chance to do what I needed to do in the, in the deeper pool. Then we went to the pool where it was, I think it was 1.6 meters or something. So I got heaps of time, maybe 40 minutes, I don't know how long, but to play around in the water, just to feel real comfortable doing all sorts of different things, swimming, dolphin flipping, and flips in the water, and trying all different things, like everything. Basically, in my head today, anything someone said, oh, let's try a backflip, let's try this, let's try that, I was like, just did it. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. It was so it wasn't hard. It wasn't like scared. I wasn't scared. It's just like a momentum kind of thing. Like, and then it's just getting more and more confident with it. And then at some stage there's a big water slide, just like a big loopy thing, and we were like, let's try this, let's go on. And I was like, yeah, I'm down for it. I'm gonna do it, because I just felt more confident. Like I knew that if I went to deep water, I could probably swim to the edge. I just had this gut feeling that I could. And so we lined up for it, and it's like big stairs going all the way up. And the surprising thing to me was I wasn't scared. Like I just didn't feel it. I was just quite relaxed. It was a really nice feeling. Like yeah. And when it was my turn to go down the thing, I just got to the edge and went down, and it was so much fun. Going down the water slide. Those big ones where you're inside the circles, and it felt to me like imagine I was in Harry Potter, and I was being teleported somewhere, and I was, I don't know. That's what in my head. That's what I was thinking as I was going down there, and it was so much fun, so much fun, and it's completely safe too. Like it's no real deep water, so anyone who can't even swim should do it anyways. It's so much fun. It's awesome. Do it, do it, do it. And then what we wanted to do next was there was like a big inflatable slide that went into the deep pool. We didn't know how deep it was, but I was down for that too. I was going to do that too. Next thing we're going to do. But then what happened was we found out that they were de-inflating it and putting up the diving boards. So at the time I was thinking, oh damn, we missed out. But then luckily, see, here's another thing that worked out really well. In the group there was Adrian, who was really keen to do the diving boards, and it was awesome because that kind of got me to do it, because I was like, when he suggested it, I was like, let's do it, gotta do it. And it fit in really well because I really wanted to do this diving board thing before the Tough Mudders, to know that I could do it, so I wasn't, wondering what would happen when I did it. So it fit in so well, and today I was feeling really confident because I was doing more and more things, and I just felt like I knew I could, if I could just, come back up for air, then I knew I could just get to the edge. I just had this feeling that I could do it. So apparently there was a 1 meter diving board and 3 meter diving board, but there was only options that we had was a springboard and the 3 meter diving board. So it was cool. We went straight for the 3 meter diving board, and going up the line, waiting for that. I tell you what, in my head, I wasn't like panicky, scared, and anxious or anything. It was more like I had just put my brain in another place, like on the outside I probably seemed pretty calm. Something to help was like there was like little tiny kids doing it as well, like 5 years old or whatever, you know. And when you see little kids doing it, you think, okay, come on, you could do this too, right? But still, the fear is there if I had thought about it a lot, because, you know, like, just again, from being a whole life of a non-swimmer, the thought of diving into a pool like that, and you know, not so much the height, it's just once you're in the water, like, what's going to happen then? Like, can you get back out of there, you know? Like, but it was funny because, like, as I was waiting for the very first time that I went up, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know, and I didn't think about anything. I thought to myself, because there's these workers, the bodyguards who work there, lifeguards, whatever, who work there, and then they stand there and say, you're next. Wait till the person clears out, and you're next. They look pretty, like everything's business as usual. I was thinking in my head, do they know that? I don't know. I didn't try not to think too hard about it, but would they have to dive in after me or whatever? You know, what would happen? You know, so it was funny thinking about it now. You know, it's more nerve-wracking, but at the time I had just like a almost a focus, like, you know, I'm not gonna back out now, I'm just gonna do it. But the unknown, like, it was just like, what's gonna happen, I have no idea. And yet it was so fun. Like, I could just sit here and smile thinking about it, or yeah, it's awesome. So when it came to my turn, I didn't even hesitate. I just looked at the platform and I was like, okay, I can just go. I separated the two events, like the jumping and the bit afterwards, two completely separate events. In my head, I wasn't jumping into a pool. I was just like, if you were standing in front of a line and just jumping over something. Or later on, I was imagining, like, if I was just going to do long jump, running down, jumping, long jump kind of thing. Although I wasn't trying to jump real far because I wanted to be closer to, you know, a little bit, as close as I could to the edge was nice. But yeah, so my turn came up, jump, and jump, and it's like, and it's the feeling that you don't get anywhere else. This free fall into the water, because you jump, yeah, jumping, that's normal, you know that, but then you land quite soon after that. But this, no, there's nothing underneath. It comes down. I think on my second dive, I went or something like that, and in my head afterwards, I was like, next time, try not to make noise. Please don't, you know. But the feeling that because it's 3 meter pool, maybe it wasn't that long, but I think it was like half a second where you're falling into the water. It's incredible. It's so awesome. And then the bit where you get into the water, I I don't swim with goggles, but at the same time, I'm like, when I was in the water, I didn't really think about what was happening or whatever. I just like something like that, and just after maybe 2 seconds, I was back up. You know, it wasn't as smooth. You know, it just happened. Like, it was automatic. Like, I got to the surface, and I could hold my breath until I got to the surface. And once I got to the surface, I just turned and I saw the ledge was really close, and I just freestyled to the edge. And I even kept my head out of the water for the freestyle. I think just a couple of strokes. And the beauty of it is, like, all this stuff that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, it's really paid off now. Like, you know, had I not done this today, I wouldn't have been able to do hardly anything. You know, it was so cool. I'd just be clinging to the edge, not being able to do anything. You know, wishing I could tread water. You know, wishing I could dive off a pool, or thinking of that these people diving off a platform, thinking they're doing something incredible, like, which, you know, I think it is still pretty, you know, like, I would be looking at them thinking they're doing something I can't do, you know. So it's all really paid off, and it's so good, and everything clicked into place so luckily. It was just like, yeah, having Adrian there he wanted to go dive, so I was like, yep, I'm gonna go too. But if it was just me by myself, I don't think I would have gone. You know, I don't think I could have gone. I don't think I would have thought to go. I would have just gone with my friends, because the other group, or my other friends, were like, we were really hungry. They wanted to eat something real bad, but I wasn't that hungry. Adrian wasn't that hungry, so, and it was cool. He was really keen, and it's good to be with someone who's you know, he wasn't scared. He was like, on his second dive, he tried to even do the go forwards into it. Another time he ran and he posed in midair, you know, jumping, and then dived in the, you know, he did some cool stuff. So it's just good to be around that. But I was completely happy not to try any of those fancy stuff and just practice jumping into the water and getting out okay, in one piece. So that was as much of an achievement that I was happy with that day. Like, I would have been happy doing just once, but we were waiting for the others, and Adrian was really keen, so we did it like 3 times. And I think the first time, didn't think much about it. It got out. It wasn't too bad. Like, I made it, and then lining up the second time, I kind of would have been happy to finish there. But the fact that we were going again, I was like, okay, I know I can do this. But it's still like, I kind of felt like when I was lining up there, I saw all these other people who were really keen to dive and all that stuff, and I felt like I was an imposter, sort of like I was thinking I'm not a good swimmer, and I'm in here, and they don't know that, they don't know that they could be amongst someone who's, but I did again. I didn't think too much about it. Sorry, this is a really long video, but yeah, this is very exciting for me, and it's just huge for me. It's funny. After the whole pool thing, we went to go play snooker, and in my head I was thinking, I don't really care. I mean, what happens right now? Like, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I'm just happy that I'm alive and I didn't drown jumping off the diving board. And I think probably for a whole week it's gonna be like that. Like, I'll just be like, I'm not really worried what's gonna happen, because it's still easier to me than what I had to do before I jumped off that diving board. It's funny now that I think back of it. I'm so like feel such a sense of um, relief. I feel so proud that I've achieved something that maybe a year ago I would have never ever thought I would to do. And so now when I see like a movie of, like, let's see Mr. Bean jumping off a diving platform, although he's done 10 meters, when I haven't done that yet, but I still feel that it's a similar concept, so it'll be harder and the fall is longer and it's like a bigger distance to drop, but still it's in the same class, and it's like, I think the hardest one is just doing it from any platform. I think, and once you've done that, the others are like, harder, but, gradual. And just knowing that I could be in that pool, jump into this pool, it's deep, that I probably so deep. The thing is, I didn't even think about how deep it was. I didn't care. I didn't ask how deep it was. I didn't ever touch the bottom, I don't think, and I'm quite happy with that. So I was just happy to pop back up and get to the edge. That's all I cared about. What else do I want to say about this? But yeah, so I feel great now. So yeah, the sense of being able to do that is like the best feeling. So I was just gonna conclude in the video. Anyone who's a non-swimmer, it's funny because now that I've done it, it feels like it's easy. Like, it's not easy, but not that hard. Like, but it's funny, 'cause if I just think back a couple of weeks, it was really hard. It's like a mental barrier. Like, I think a lot of it is mental barrier, because you could probably do freestyle, like maybe a lap on a pool that, if you could touch the bottom the whole way, but then if you get in a deep pool, then you kind of might be too scared to do the whole way. It's a lot of it is mental, and it's been such a good experience for me to push myself a little bit all the time. They always say do something that you're scared of, or do something every day that makes you scared, or something, get out of your comfort zone. All those kind of sayings and things, and it's true, because afterwards you feel more confident, more happy, because you can do it and you weren't scared of it. Like, it didn't beat you. I think you just feel more better, like, that you can do it. Like, after I did the 3 dives, I felt so proud, like, meeting up with the others again. We didn't even need to tell them, all about it. We just knew that we did it, and I felt so happy. Like, oh yeah. So I want to conclude with anyone who has watched this video to the end, who can't swim. I really highly recommend you make yourself do it. Don't die though. Don't drown. Don't die. Still be careful. But yeah, um, it's like don't put it off, because I was a person who was like I was just gonna avoid water my whole life. I had survived up to 32 whatever without having to be able to swim. You know, it's fine, but it's just so much better when you can swim. Yeah.